Welcome to another edition of International Soccer Break. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. I have Rahi and I had Roy. How was everyone's weekend, boys?
Beautiful, brother.
It was
Beautiful.
Excellent
Enjoy the
weekend.
beautiful
Excellent weekend.
game.
excellent weekend of
Amazing.
a lot of soccer, and we had to choose one game of the weekend, and we decided to go with a small little game called Chelsea versus Liverpool.
The evil empire versus our boys, Liverpool. They're our boys just because they're a fun team to watch.
I love
They're
them.
a very likable team. I feel like Liverpool as a club is always likable. And they signed the Hungarian maestro himself. Can you say his name, Roy? If you can pronounce his name, I'd be really impressed.
I'm not going to try.
Come on,
I'm going
you
to
can do
embarrass
it. You
myself.
can do it. SZ
Don't
Soboslai,
do
I
it.
think.
Don't
Is
make
that
me
right?
do
I think that's pretty
I
good.
mean, I think we'll have to get a Hungarian guest on the show.
I
to,
heard them
pronounce
mention
it
it a
properly.
few
Yeah.
times.
He
I just
looks
don't remember.
good, man. But
Yeah,
and of
he looks
course,
good.
your boy McAllister, man.
He played a
Looked
good game, too.
okay.
Yeah,
Playing in a
he-
holding
I thought he was
midfield
quite
role,
good.
didn't look great.
For a
He looked
first
okay.
game, he was quite good, man. He's going to have a big impact with this team.
Yeah. Okay, so for everyone, I'm sure most of you caught the game, but it was a interesting game. It had like sort of ebbs and flows. I felt like the moment had a lot of momentum swings as well. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty the score may not reflect it, but I think it was a pretty good game overall.
Yeah, it was entertaining. I thought it was really entertaining. It was interesting because it was almost a tale of two halves. Liverpool came out really well and they were able to counter really effectively. The first goal was beautiful. It was a beautiful counterattacking goal, and they should have had a second goal. Mo Salah was scored a beautiful goal, and he would have kept up his record of scoring. I think it would have been the 7th consecutive season scoring
Yeah.
in the opening game of the Premier
Yeah.
League.
Crazy.
And he was just marginally offside, but I don't know. I didn't think he was offside. Anyways, it was really all Liverpool to begin with. And then Chelsea came back into the game off a broken play, getting the tying goal. And then from there, they were the better team, which is disappointing to me because I hope that they implode and they fall to the pits of disaster because of what they've done to all our American players. But unfortunately, they looked okay. And they actually, it's a pretty good performance from Chelsea to start the season, considering that they were 12th last year, which is really where they belong.
But now Chelsea had a goal of their own that was ruled offside. Again, VAR looked at it. Ben Chilwell scored the goal, but it was marginally offside. So, and there was of course, the handball situation, which VAR reviewed, but then they kind of upheld the call of no penalty. So, a lot of VAR happening. So I want to go straight to our onside offside topic, which is VAR is ruining great goals. A lot of good things about VAR we've talked about, but something like this, where both of those goals were very, very, very marginal.
Yep.
Are we becoming too nitpicky about these rules? Who wants to take it first?
Go, Rocky.
Yeah. So it's funny because this conversation came up with my mom, our mom, actually recently. And she said to me that
Not my
VAR is ruined. It wasn't your mom, Roy, though. We've had other conversations.
I didn't talk to him.
But the question at hand was, is VAR ruining great goals? And she brought it up to tell me, look, this is getting out of hand. This technology is ridiculous. The sport is being slowed down. And you can tell when a goal's a goal. You can tell when it should be disallowed or not disallowed. In both these cases, you look at it, there's no offside trap that's legitimately played. It's not smart defending in any way. They just get lucky that there's basically like an inch of the player's body that is offside. And these are both great goals. So the answer is yeah. I mean, it is because we have to go to the video monitor and then we have to check and see. And this could have been a great goal. Instead, it ruins the momentum. It would be interesting. Liverpool would have been 2 up. And then, the other way, Chelsea would have taken a 2-1 lead. It would have made things really exciting, interesting. And the biggest problem is the spirit of the offside rule is designed to not give the attacking team an advantage, right? An unnecessary advantage that you can't be so far ahead that you make it very difficult to defend. In both these cases, there's no legitimate advantage coming from either of these offside calls, and it's just a little unnecessary. I get it. But the problem I have is at a certain point, we have to understand it's the same thing is happening with handballs. Some handballs that are like, the guy's jumping and what is he going to do? VAR to me is ruining great goals and awarding some really soft penalties that then change games for no reason. So fundamentally, I'm on side because I think we got to figure this out. It's not fun.
All right. Do you feel better, Rahi?
I do, and I think my
You
mom
do?
would be happy too.
Okay. Yeah, I just texted my mom. She has never spoken to you. Not once. And I
Well,
sent her your
not
picture,
about this
and she
topic.
said, "He is not my type at all." So that is a
We just talk,
false statement.
All
Roy.
right,
We just talk soccer, man. Come on.
keep this show. Let's keep this show where
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
PG. So yeah.
So VAR is ruining great goals. I am a mile offside, mile and a half offside. VAR has brought a much needed addition to this game. We needed this game to become more fair. We needed this game to become more accurate. I was getting sick and tired of the goals that were not goals. I was getting sick and tired of plays that should have been stopped, of red cards that shouldn't have been red cards, of penalties called that shouldn't have been penalties. We have seen these things mostly disappear from our beautiful game, and that we should be grateful to VAR. It is the technology of VAR that has made this game more fair, more accurate. We're not relying on a distracted ref to make the damn right call in the game. That is beautiful. Now, if the question was, is the offside rule ruining great goals? 1,000,000,000%. The
No,
offside rule
no,
is
come on.
effing ridiculous. It's a
There's common
ridiculous
sense
rule.
involved. This is
No,
common sense refereeing to
it's a
understand
stupid
that in
rule.
certain cases there's not really an advantage.
Now, it's the dumbest rule in the world. So, what are the two leagues testing out the new offside rule? It's Italy and I forget, Austria, I think it is. That offside rule cannot come soon enough. It should be any goal scoring body part is onside, and that player is onside. It is the stupidest, most frustrating thing. I was just talking to your mom about it, that the offside rule, a fingernail is offside and the player is offside. A piece of his hair is offside and they take away
Well, you
a
can score with your
beautiful
hair,
goal.
man. That's allowed.
No, it shouldn't be allowed. If his foot is onside, if I'm leaning this way and my foot is onside, that
Yeah,
is
so
a
you're
goal.
agreeing with
Don't
me
you
that
dare take that goal
fundamentally
away
needs to be
from
some
me.
common sense brought into VAR, that like these handballs that are being called, some of these offside
That's fine.
decisions that are too marginal to really be called because it's ruining
Not
the
common enough.
spirit of what the rule's there for. The same with the handball on the other side. For me, I put the handball and the ruining great goals in the same VAR category. And to say that I think there's common sense. I understand we've leaned into technology would make sense. It's appropriate to bring technology to get rid of egregious mistakes. For example, Diego
Change the handball
Maradona's
rule.
hand of God, which won your country, Roy, a World Cup that never would have
Greatest
happened
country
with
in the world.
VAR. But there's now a time to shift back a little bit, understand some common sense as well. Goal line technology, video assisted replay, these things are good for the game, but we're at the point where we need to bring in common sense refereeing back to curtail a bit of the impact of these technologies.
So
Since when
okay,
do you
so
have
Roy,
common sense, Rocky? These
yeah.
rules need to change. It's not VAR. VAR is going by the rules. Offside rule needs to change. If it's so many handballs ruining great goals, let's change the handball rule. Let's modernize this game a little bit. There's nothing wrong with modernizing the game. The handball rule is too strict. Let's change the handball rule. Simple as that.
Yeah, so Roy's offside, Rahi on. I gotta go onside for this. I think this is becoming way too nitpicky and some of the nuances of VAR. I think there should be some aspects where you should not go to VAR for stuff like this
Yeah,
specifically,
agreed.
or the video assistant referee needs to look at this, and I get it, it's interpreted based on the rule, but we're gonna start becoming like American football pretty soon. I think it's already kind of there where like some of like the
Getting there.
minor nuances and tweaks and weird stuff like is this crossing this by this amount, all that kind of stuff. It's happening already, and unfortunately the common sense aspect of it I think is disappeared a little.
So a lot of other sports do the challenge, right? So that's in cricket that you can challenge and you have one or two. Field hockey does the same thing. American football does that as well, except in certain points in the game. It's interesting because then some of these decisions are just too close, man.
But even the challenges wouldn't make a difference if the VR technology is looking at it, it's going to come up with what it
Yeah,
is,
but
right?
there's a limit
Yeah.
to you have to determine, like in cricket, right? You have to determine how many times you can challenge. And
Fair.
then it becomes a game where you're thinking, do I want to challenge now or do I want to challenge later? Is this a more important moment or is later a more important moment?
Yeah. No, I think that's
I like
that's
that
also
challenge
Tennis is the
idea.
same,
Yeah.
right? Tennis is
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah. It's
I
a
like
good
that
point.
challenge idea.
It's
a matter of how do you change it? Do you change VAR? Do you cut VAR? No, you change the rules. If these rules are too restrictive, if these rules are changing the game in a way where something simple ruins a great goal, let's change the rule. VAR is here to stay. We're
But
not
what are
going
you
to
going to
remove
change?
VAR.
In this case, no rule that you change would make this goal onside. He still, technically, like, there's a little bitty part of him that's offside. But a linesman isn't going to see it, wouldn't have called it in the past, wouldn't have likely referred that to a video assisted replay. But because there's an automatic video replay, they're able
Sure.
to look back and see. So, I mean, changing the rules is not going to affect it.
Yeah. I think we've touched on a very interesting topic here, and it'll continue to be talked about. Overall, final score of that game: Chelsea won, Liverpool won. It would have been more goals, more excitement. Mo Salah would have been happy. Ben Chilwell will be happy. Anyway, that's all done for now. And you know what we should implement? VAR for this show. I think that's what we need.
Yeah.
You know.
Give Rocky a red card. Get him out of here, man.
Yeah.
Put him out in the streets.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's where you
Oh
belong.
my, oh my goodness, we're getting kind of wild
That's
here.
beautiful.
But anyway, first weekend of the Premier League wrapped up. We will continue to look at the best games every week from all the leagues, and yeah, you got to watch. Everyone's got to watch soccer, and that brings me to a perfect segue of everyone, as I always say, keep watching the beautiful game.
He's saying it.
See you
I
guys.
love it. It's beautiful. Very smooth voice.
I like it.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been going to voice coaching.